Ask the Muscle Whisperer.
Hello everyone, very excited to be back for the next edition of Massage Whisperers. I'm Emma, Director of School of Bodywork, and I've been asked, at what stage in your career did you choose a niche for your massage therapy? Brilliant question, I think, as I think it's so important for us to choose an area to specialise in. So actually very early on, I studied sports injuries because I was really interested in chronic injuries and really getting to the bottom of those chronic injuries. So I really like to work with complex cases, and the injuries sustained weren't actually necessarily through sport. So any injury or actually chronic pathology is what interested me. So frozen shoulder was a classic example. Very often, in fact, manifesting in women and very often around the menopausal age. So I really looked at chronic injuries, and what I realised is the more complex the cases got, I made massive improvements to my clients. 80, 90, 95% better, but there was always this little underlying something which absolutely fascinated me, and it was the emotional component to the injury. So I really became interested in the emotions that lay beneath or within the injury, how people related to their disease, their illness, their pathology, or their injury. This wasn't a very explored area at the time, but I myself researched as much as I could. And it's really it's the emotion that lies within the injury that interests me. So I really specialised a lot in women's health, in chronic injuries, and I really explored emotion and trauma. And trauma work really, trauma stored within the body is what fascinates me most. So on my journey, I studied as much as I could about fascia-informed bodywork, both in the UK and the US. But this still left me with questions. So I then studied for 2 years biodynamic craniosacral therapy, and within this they look a lot at trauma within the body. So trauma skills for body workers is what really interested me. And with these skills, and actually with this gentle touch, which I brought into my massage and into my fascial work, so all of the craniosacral stuff informed what I did. And once I could really engage with the client and really engage on an emotional level, that's what made the huge difference to me. So it's all of this knowledge that we at School of Bodywork bring to all of our courses. So understanding the emotion within the body, understanding how trauma is held within the tissues of the body. And actually what we've done recently is we've developed this whole range of online courses for you to access wherever you are. Really looking at trauma held within the body, trauma held within the tissues, and we're also doing a range on women's health, menopause, and we look at chronic injuries, and also we're going to be developing a lot on scar tissue. So I really do think the more you can specialise in any area you like, the better your results will be, but also the more interesting your work, and you will attract clients that need you. And what I love so much about our industry is once you're qualified, you can actually take your career in any direction you like. So my work has changed a lot over the years. So I've had quite broad banners because I don't like to be too specialist, but within those broad banners of chronic injuries, emotional holding patterns, and women's health, within those I've specialised. So for example, I've really looked at frozen shoulder, I've really looked at endometriosis, I've really looked at fibroids, and I've really looked at how we can support women with these really complex pathologies that are often overlooked. There's another component to the question. Yeah, so how did I pick my niche, and what tips would you give to other therapists? So I think the top tip is to do something you love. do something you love. And like I said, over the years, this changes. As you develop as a person, the area of work that you have gone into will also change. So allow your career to develop with you. Update your skills as you update as a human. Allow your work to progress. Keep studying. I think, we can fall into ruts in our career, but at that point, pick something up, pick up a book, go enroll on a course. And like I said, we've really made an effort to bring all our specialist work around trauma within the body, women's health issues and scar tissue. We've made an effort to bring all of that online for you. So wherever you are in the country or the world, you can now access our knowledge. And I've also collaborated with loads of colleagues, because over the last 30 years, I've built a huge network of fantastic colleagues who really specialize in their subject. So I've brought all of these people in to help you to develop your career in whichever way you want it to go. So like I said, women's health, great area, desperately needed, including scars from cesarean sections and episiotomy. We look at chronic injuries, we look at menopause, we look at trauma and emotion in the body. So all or any of those might be areas in which you might like to specialise. So I really look forward to welcoming you onto some of our online courses. And it's been great to be part of Muscle Whisperers, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.
Hello, my name's Nikki. I'm the owner of Orchid Massage Academy, and I'm a business and skills mentor for massage therapists. And I've been asked to talk to you about niching. So the thing about niching is I didn't actually ever choose a niche. My niche chose me. So what happened was, basically I started massaging in the 90s, and marketing then was really different, and niching wasn't a thing. We just worked with anyone that wanted it. So I just did a massive range of clients with a massive range of problems using a massive range of modalities. And I was lucky because I never needed to advertise, or not really. So I was mainly getting referrals through word of mouth. And so niching wasn't even a thing. And I had more than enough clients and it was all fine. But about 10 years ago, when marketing really exploded for massage therapists and how they could grow their businesses, I started to think, oh, maybe I should start doing a niche. Niching is a thing. So I had a look at my business and at my clients, and I realised that actually over the time, although I'd started off treating a massive range of clients with different problems, actually they'd evolved themselves organically into a niche. So when I looked at them, I realised that I was working with a very specific group of people, mainly working with specific types of problems, and working in a very specific manner using a specific style. And so I actually had a niche, although I'd never actually actively chosen it. It had just ended up organically arriving. So that was fine. But if you're thinking of choosing a niche, then I just wanted to sort of say what I think about that, which is that, and this is quite a controversial statement, I think, niching is just a marketing tool. So if you have a full client list, if you're busy and you don't need any more clients, if you are the only one who does your thing in your local community or your local area, and most of your client getting is through word of mouth and referrals, then you're less likely to need a niche. You need a niche if you need more clients, and if you want to grow your business, and if you advertise online. If you advertise at all, but really if you advertise online, then you do need a niche, because our attention spans online are so quick, so short, and you need something that will pull people in, that will make them notice you and want to find out more, want to read more about you, and a niche really does that really well. So the other thing about a niche is it gives you credibility. If you specialise in something, then people will take you more seriously. So that is also something that is in favour of niching. So, I work with a lot of clients in my mentoring, a lot of therapists who are struggling to choose a niche. So one of the things that I notice is there's a lot of resistance around choosing a niche. They're wanting to grow their businesses, they're wanting to get more clients, but they feel as though choosing a niche will narrow them down, that will make them kind of make them bored in a way, that they always have to work with the same type of people over and over. And also I notice one of the resistance points is feeling as though if you narrow too much, will that mean that your audience is really small, and how are you going to make money? So the thing I always say is niching is your shop window, it's not your whole shop. So niching is really just a marketing tool to entice people in, to make people want to come into your shop and see what else you have to offer. So don't feel as though that by choosing your niche that is the only people you'll ever work with, because it's really not. What happens is that's your core group, that's the core group of people that will automatically come to you, but there'll be a spillover. You do end up working with other people as well, and you can work with other people as well. It's totally fine. It's just more that your messaging is created around the niche. So the what you put in your website and what you put in your marketing material is around that. But that doesn't mean that that's the only people you're ever going to work with, so don't worry about that. So when it comes to choosing a niche, the first things to bear in mind are the parts of your work that can be niched. So it could be whether you have clients that have a specific interest or hobby. That can be a niche. Or it could be that you work in the way you work, you do one specific modality. So you choose the modality you like, you enjoy doing best. That could be a niche. Or it could be that you specialise in working with a specific body part, or you specialise in working with a specific problem area. So you could create a niche around that. And you can just choose one of those. Or you could mix it up and create a more narrow niche by building a few of these together. So you could actually end up with something a bit like you do sports massage for swimmers with sciatica. Now that's quite a narrow niche, but it would work. So you can play with it in that way. So if you're trying to think what could you choose as your niche, it needs to be something that you've got experience of, or that you're automatically good at, or that you enjoy, or preferably all of them. So you could look at your current clients. What I recommend with my therapists when I'm mentoring them is that they make a list of their clients, of the ones that they really enjoy working with the most, the ones that they feel most confident and at ease working with. Get that list down and then see, is there any common denominators around those clients, either why they come to you, or what treatment they get off you, or what problems they have, or even at them as people, what kind of interest they have. Can you create a niche around anything there? And that should help. If you find that you're struggling to do that with your current clients, you can actually look a bit closer to home and look at yourself and your own life experiences. So you can choose to have a niche based on what you've experienced, what you've overcome, struggles that you've had, that you've dealt with, something that you've got deep knowledge on, or that you've got intense interest in. That can become a niche for you. So it doesn't have to be just about your clients, it can also be about yourself as well. So I think the key thing here about the niche thing is you want to choose something that you feel really interested in, that you feel happy with, that you feel even passionate about, because there's no point choosing something just for the sake of it, just because you feel like you have to niche. The first thing really is, do you have to niche? Have you got enough clients? Are you totally happy with what you do? Fine, you don't need to. But if not, then yes, niching would really help you, but make sure it's something that makes you feel excited and passionate. And then the other thing to all of this is, it's not set in stone. So you're not stuck with what you choose. You're going to evolve and change over time as a person. You're going to evolve and change over time with the way you work, and you're going to evolve and change over time with your niche. That's completely normal. You don't start off with one niche and you have to stay with that for the whole of your career. Not at all. It's totally fine that it will morph and become something else, as you change. So you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so there's your basic building blocks for a niche. I hope that helps you, and good luck with it.
Hi, I'm Jane Burke, and I'm here to talk about this month's topic, which is niching. So let me go back a little bit. Before becoming a holistic therapist, I worked in a few post offices. It was great. In the quieter offices, I really got to know my regulars, and I got to chat with, or listen to, depends on your viewpoint, all of the elderly customers collecting their pensions on the mornings. And then on the afternoon, I got to listen to the stressed mums collecting their child benefits. And that sort of set the niches that I work with. Although, to be honest, I didn't actually identify the stressed professional woman niche until a few years ago, when identifying your niche and making an avatar became the in thing to do. My advertising targets those with pain. This attracts elderly clients with long-standing chronic pain that's built up over decades. And these are great clients, and I love improving their quality of life. However, my passion is working with stressed professional women clients whose initial presenting pain is always stress related. Now, I chose this niche because alongside their holistic massage sessions, it allows me to work online and create online courses to help them manage their stress and thus reduce the need for their body to exhibit pain. I also offer courses for mums and kids, and this is a great way to get to the mums. Mums will often spend money on their kids that they won't always spend on themselves, unfortunately. So my advice to you is to pick a niche that you have knowledge of. So if you're a runner, pick runners, not cyclists. And this niche, these clients have got to be people that you enjoy working with, the issues that they've got. So have a look back through your client list and work out who are your favourite clients. Which clients do you feel a surge of joy about working with when you see their name in your diary for the day? Then sit down and work out why. You can then move on and identify a preventative way to help them. So for my professional working women, the pain is always related to stress. So working with the stress would be the way to help them. So work out what it is for yours. And once you've identified a preventative way to help them, then when they've had a few sessions with you to relieve the main pain, you can get them onto your unique preventative pain, and that will stop the pain coming back again, representing. Hopefully. I hope that helps.
Hi everyone, Sunita here from Tridosha. We are a massage and meditation training academy. We also manufacture all our own lovely natural skincare. And we have been in the business of training for over 15 years now. So I know some of you have been joining us on some of our courses recently, which is really fabulous. And I'm really excited to share my thoughts on today's question. So this is the lovely question I had from Samantha Jenkins at Massage Warehouse. And it says, after a time to reflect during the pandemic, many massage therapists are rethinking their marketing strategies and choosing to niche their businesses. At what stage in your career did you choose a niche for your massage therapy business? How did you pick your niche? And what would I recommend for selecting a niche? So I love this question because really Ayurveda found me. So I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner. My specialism is in Ayurvedic massage therapies and mindfulness and meditation. And I formed Tridosha as a training academy in 2005 after running a private practice in London for a number of years. And when I started the training academy, I was completely obsessed, as I still am, with Ayurveda as a health system, with the concept of the mind-body connection. And that was really one of the first things that connected me to this health system. So to give you a little bit of background, I'm originally a business journalist, and I used to travel all over the world with my company. And I was interviewing business executives, CEOs, some politicians, a couple of prime ministers, and really loving that lifestyle, loving the work of a business journalist. Really, I loved the research and putting together the content. But what really happened to me was I started to get burnt out. And I was actually on a project in India. This is 2002, and I went by chance. I was shopping in Hansel Plaza, which is in Delhi, really fabulous shopping centre, and I walked into a little meditation shop. I had never meditated before in my life, and whatever the meditation teacher said to me in that moment just completely resonated. So lo and behold, I found something that I was really interested in and wanted to pursue further. And the following weekend, I actually jumped on my first meditation retreat. And then I moved to Mumbai, and I was working from Mumbai. And then I was starting to go to an ashram just outside of Mumbai, an hour outside of Mumbai in Pune. And I had a chance treatment, so the Ayurvedic massage in a clinic in Pune. And I had such a connection to that treatment. I really felt a transformation. I felt an energy shift, and this treatment realigned me that I wanted to A, have more treatments, and B, I wanted to learn more about this health system, because I could really see that the therapist was not working on my muscles and my tissues, but more so this was what I now know was a form of energy healing. So I was completely blown away, and with that interest, it was that real inner interest that guided me to then continue learning. So I actually stayed in India, and I started my training in India, in southern India, in the therapeutic aspects of Ayurveda. So that's really what started me on my journey, and my complete focus, all of my focus as a teacher, all of my focus as a practitioner, is in facilitating training programs for therapists who want to learn about Ayurvedic body techniques, and then also those who want to facilitate mindfulness and meditation training sessions. So what would I say? What's my advice? How do you pick your niche? Well, for me, it was serendipity. You know, something very naturally happened in my life that connected me to something that was so deeply, really part of who I am. Another aspect to this story is actually my grandfather was an Ayurvedic doctor, so I'd had some experience growing up in an environment where those principles were passed on. So there was a very natural connection for me there. When you're thinking about your niche, I really think it's worth opening yourself up to what resides so deeply inside of you. You know, in order to serve others through our practices, we need to understand ourselves first. So, you know, by actually asking yourself some questions, you know, really where to see where your interest lies in the body, what is your particular interest, maybe something has helped you and that's had a really profound effect on you, and that is helping you consider what your niche might be, because ultimately once you've experienced something that's given you really good results, you're much more likely to be able to educate that to others, because you've had that deep, profound healing. And also it's worth doing some meditation practice around this, and going a bit more deeper into yourself, into your body, and actually simply asking yourself, giving thanks for the career that you have already, the practice that you've evolved and developed, and then wanting to really think about what your niche might be. You can start to open yourself up in meditation, and actually this is a really nice practice that you can do. You can say, dear universe, I am open to understanding how I am ready to serve my clients. So dear universe, I am open to understanding how I am better ready to serve my clients. So a simple meditation practice, repeat that, and then make some notes. Then as you come out of that meditation, as you come back into the room, just make some notes as to the kind of emotions that the repetition of those words evoked for you. How does it make you feel? And is it aligning you with a particular type of therapy? Is there something that you very, very clearly can see deep within you that you are resonating with on that level? So for me, I feel it's when you niche, it is something quite personal and very, very special. And I think you have to do that sort of the inner work, the deep work, to profoundly align yourself with what that therapy is. Thank you. Sunita Passy here today, and you have a fabulous day.
Hello colleagues, this month I've been asked to focus on a really important and pertinent question about creating a niche. And during the last year or so, many of you have probably focused or thought about reshaping or rethinking your future roles and practice. So creating a niche, or thinking about how to attract a specific group of clients, or how do we locate ourselves within the market, and what becomes important. So thinking back on my own personal journey, when I was studying many years ago and graduated, it was more a fact of just trying to recruit or find clients so I could apply the skills I had learned and really try to build up a client base that could bring in affordable or create some kind of fund in that sense. Over time, I worked out that many of my initial clients were approaching me because they were active in sport. So it naturally grew into reshaping my abilities and skills to more of a sports-based client market. In other words, I didn't enter the market in sport at the start, but because most of my clients were approaching me with issues relevant to active engagement in sport, I reshaped the way I worked to accommodate their needs. And over time, I found myself being based or being able to find more of a home within the active health side and sport, as opposed to just the general groups that I was working with. So the message here is that if we try and focus too early on creating that niche, we may be losing sight of some of the greater options and opportunities that may become available to strengthen and grow our practice. So for me, the journey evolves and evolved. So it's a continuation of skill training. And whilst I base myself in sport now, my niche market has changed within the last year, and I find myself re-entering a new stage where my client base is not solely sport now, but more long-term health. So I've been approached, and I'm working more now with clients who have chronic health issues and looking at far greater reach in terms of that long-term health model. But I suppose the key factor that we all need to bear in mind and consider fully is that as we grow and practice, our skill sets will adapt and change. So never lose sight that we are always learning and we are always growing, and we have a growth mindset in terms of understanding how we use our skills, and more importantly, what skills become useful in helping us to maintain our standards, but at the same time be able to apply them to cross some groups. So don't lose sight of the end product, which is being able to apply the skills and knowledge that you have to impact in the most positive and meaningful way on a group of clients who need and require help in the best way that you can give. So the market will evolve, and the market will shape will shape itself around you in a sense. So don't be worried at the start if you're not finding a niche market. What you will find is that with the rapport that you set up with your client base and with the skills that you have, the market will find you. Best of luck, and we're looking forward to a really exciting year ahead.
During this past year and the COVID-19 pandemic, some therapists have had time to reflect on their massage businesses and may choose to focus on certain niches in the market. I have spoken to a handful of therapists that I have worked with over the past 20 years, and I would suggest that the key to establishing a niche in the bodywork industry is CPD training. I don't think it's necessarily agonizing over how you can be different, but offering your clients more than one specialist area of bodywork, like myofascial release, trigger point therapy for pain release, and much more. That is your niche, a multi-skilled therapist. If I know one thing about clients who rebook time after time, it's this: be confident in what advice you give because of your CPD training, and be confident in how you apply your touch. Also, my advice to therapists is to embrace online booking and marketing for the future. Online marketing includes paying for Google Ads or Facebook posts, and it can be expensive, but I think it's a necessary investment alongside someone who knows about organic online marketing. I hope this is helpful. I think that it would be safe to say that the last year has been a curveball, or rather a series of curveballs, for everyone. At the start of the year, I was looking forward to business as usual, seeing my clients, continuing to develop professionally, and delivering training courses. However, COVID-19 and the ensuing lockdowns have meant that I've had to drastically change the way that I deliver my services in order to continue my practice. The good news for myself and the rest of the massage industry is that we do not have to go extinct, we only have to evolve. The answer, in my opinion, lies in specialising. There are thousands upon thousands of massage therapists in the UK who do not specialise in a specific area. However, there are also thousands of potential clients seeking expert treatment for the myriad of conditions which massage has been shown to help. For my fellow massage practitioners, this means that by failing to specialise, you are missing out on clients and income. In 2014, I decided to specialise in oncology massage. It's something that I think is very important. Everyone knows someone who has been affected by cancer. The area I have chosen to focus on does not just benefit my patients as an oncology specialist. Having a specialism in one area is important for all jobs, and massage is no different. It means that I have something different to offer from many other practicing massage therapists. This niche allows me to receive specialist referrals and also provide my clients with the peace of mind that they're dealing with someone who is experienced in the service which they require. For massage therapists who are looking to develop their niche but are still unsure how best to branch out, I would suggest looking at two key aspects. Firstly, how do you like to work? Which massage techniques do you excel in and enjoy delivering? Then research your local audience and competition to see where there might be a gap in demand. Some of the most sought after specialities are neuromuscular, myofascial release, and oncology. You can then see how your skills best align with the therapeutic approach these specialisms require. In my approach to oncology massage, I always aim to approach it from a whole body perspective. This means that I have to be aware of the fact that the body is not just a mass of solitary organs, nerves, bones, and muscles, which do one job and do not communicate or relate to each other. The body is a finely balanced machine with parts which interact. If one of these is thrown off balance, then it will have a knock-on effect. When performing oncology massages, we must be aware of this, and we must also educate ourselves on the fact that any physical malfunctions can also impact on our mental state. Even if the patient does not show any physical symptoms, a cancer diagnosis can be extremely traumatic. Humans typically do not consider their own mortality on a day-to-day basis. Cancer can force us to do this in an extremely abrupt manner. Even the word cancer is potentially emotionally triggering. This is where I believe that the mental health benefits of massage can have a positive impact on our clients. Oncology massage is neither light, fluffy, or insubstantial. It addresses the needs of the client and how the tissue responds. The most descriptive word I use when teaching this method is to feel what is happening underneath your hands. To be led by the tissue and respond to it, not force your way through in an unthinking way, but to melt into the soft tissue in a considered way. This approach to oncology massage is in fitting with my less is more ethos when it comes to using force, which I apply to all of my patients.